Salute,
Yo,
salute.
salute.
Uh, I go by the name of Crotona P, and this is Crotona P presents the Imperfect Courtier interview number 5. My apologies to the people that can't see me at the bottom. I'm actually thinking right now at the moment it might be an Instagram issue because I can see the person on top always, but you can't see the person at the bottom. So before when I had him, and we were live on Minds, I couldn't see him, but now you guys can't see me. But you guys don't need to see my ugly ass. Y'all see me enough. So we're gonna speak to Zag today. And today we're going to be speaking to Zag about a lot of stuff. Hopefully, we can speak about his beginnings in music and where he came out of, what state, what city, whatever. His whole biography. Hopefully, if we can get this done in hopefully 45 minutes. We'll get this done in 45 minutes.
Uh,
So Zag, so salute, and I appreciate you coming on and giving me this exclusive interview. I've been wanting to
yeah,
build with you for a
anytime,
little
man.
minute. I've been wanting to build with you for a little minute now. Um, I've been checking your music out for some time now. I can't say as far back as what you got on Spotify because when I went on Spotify to check out the music that was on there, I think the latest project was 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty
The,
much.
the Meridian Gem.
Yeah, I mean, when I had projects prior to that under
Mm-hmm.
Iron Fingers
Mm-hmm.
before I flipped the name, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as far as under Zagnif, yeah,
Okay, so yeah, a lot of times that happens, of course, in hip hop
yeah,
coming up, especially when you start young. You go through a bunch of name changes. I could sit here and give you a list of mine, but we'll be here forever. You know what I mean?
well,
Sure, but definitely, I started it. I started with the Gemstone series first, though. You know what I mean? I didn't start.
okay, word,
I wanted to knock out those first, do all 5 of those, and then go back and listen to the older albums all the way up. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no doubt,
and I only went about what you had on Spotify because that's all I really when I searched it, that's what I found. So I said
word,
that's a lot of material as it is that I could speak to him on. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
All right. So before we even get into the Gemstone series, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, you're born and raised in Utica,
yeah, Utica, New York.
and from Utica it says that you became a man or you got your manhood in Queens.
Yeah, I moved to Queens after high school. I lived there for like 10 years.
Okay, what part of Queens, if you don't mind me asking?
I lived in Jamaica and Hollis and Springfield Gardens.
Okay, okay. All right, so you was probably out there during the time that I was working out there. I used to work in Flushing. I used to work in
Oh,
Flushing, and I
okay.
used to work in College Point.
Okay. Yeah, I worked in Rego Park at the
All
little
right.
Sears out there, and then I
Yeah, you used
worked
to work at the Sears and Rego. I used to work at the one in Flushing.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then I worked in Astoria.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah.
up. So definitely, after you say you after that, you say you popped out to Rochester. How
Yeah.
long? How long were you in Rochester for?
Like 5 years. I went out there to August 2013, and I relocated about 2 years ago when my daughter was born.
Exactly, exactly. It said that you.
Yeah.
I'm basically quoting some lines that you got in the song.
Word.
You basically explained that. So you went to raise a family. That it said you kind of like messed up a little bit in your relationship. You lost your relationship. Then you ended up back in the tri-state, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when you was in the tri-state, what you went back to the same spot? To the same spot?
Nah, I'm a little outside of New York City now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it says that you went back to the tri-state to get some grams for your mans, right? Started hustling.
Legal hustling, we'll say.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah.
That always works. All right. So basically, after that, I'm assuming that things got better in your relationship and you ended up back with your family, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Little man stuff is always, you think you the man and all these shorties and everything else, and what I mean, I got my wife is a good woman, you know what I'm saying, the mother of my children, she's a good woman, you know what I mean. I realized that probably like a year and a half after being apart, like damn, like these all messing with all these chicks and they ain't really got nothing, but I had the perfect thing right there and I messed it up. So my daughter was born and it was kind of like a sign, like damn, maybe that's meant to be. Let me you know what I mean, let me just put everything back together. And, you know what I mean, she was willing to take that chance back. So,
That's what's up, man. That's a beautiful story right there.
word,
We definitely gonna touch a little bit more on that when we actually speak on the song that touches on that. You know, there's actual song in the Gemstone series that was pretty deep that stood out to me, and we'll talk
word.
about that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But basically, the Gemstone series, I started off with the Sapphire EP, right? Is that the
Okay.
first? Do they go by order? Are they supposed to be in a certain kind of order?
Originally I had a certain order, but I was waiting on a couple verses and everything, so it ended up getting flipped in a different way.
Okay. So what was the original? I mean, does it make a difference how you listen to it?
Nah, not really.
Okay,
Not really.
that's what I wanted to know before. Like, that's why I started listening to it with Sapphire first because that's the way it was set up in Spotify, where that one dropped, and then I think
Word.
after that was the Obsidians, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And then
released Bloodstones in January, Alexandrites in February, Sapphires in March, Obsidians in April, and then in May I released Rubies.
exactly, that's the order that I kind of listened to them and
Yeah.
the way they got them set up, the way you released them. So
Word.
I wasn't sure if I had to hear them in a certain kind of way to understand it.
Nah,
Like if there was a concept behind all five, I wasn't sure. So I was just hoping
nah,
that I got it right. But I'm glad that you're telling me that it didn't really matter. But
nah. I mean the biggest concept behind it was I've always stuck to my brothers, Noble City. You know what I'm saying? Crucial to Guillotine, Dynamic, Halim, Chaotney, you know what I mean? Also like King Arthur, stuff like that. I always stuck to that circle. You know what I mean? I'm a big loyal family dude. So it was always anytime I need a feature, I went to them. Anytime I need a beat, I went to Crucial or Halim. So DJ NUT, shout out to him. Him and I did the Blood and Iron project, and it was
okay,
my first time really working with outside production and some outside features as well.
mhm.
And I kind of wanted to do that again. So I did originally it started off with like 9 tracks called Gemstone, straight like that, Gemstone.
Yeah,
And I got so many beats and everything from outside producers that I was like, damn. Like I ended up with like 25 songs, and then I was like, damn, like I need to figure a way to do this. And I'm not like when I do albums, I like there to be a concept, like an actual concept behind the album.
okay,
So when I did the Gemstone series, I was like, damn, I don't really want to compile a bunch of these joints in different albums, like 2 albums or whatever. So I thought of doing the series idea with 5 songs on each EP and having all this outside production that I never really did before. And
okay,
then like I started getting love from other artists. So I was like, damn, why don't I extend it with collabing with other artists as well? That, you know what I mean, I got respect for, that respect me, and you know what I mean? And that's how that all came about because of that. Just building them connections.
okay. All right. So I noticed on Sapphire you got Azariah,
Yeah,
you got the bad seed, and
yeah,
got Naps and Dreads.
yeah, definitely.
How did the feature with Azariah? I mean, we both worked with Azariah, me and you both.
Yeah.
How did you get to meet Azariah? How did you go about getting the feature from Azariah?
Azariah actually hit me. Barbaric actually told me about him a while ago. But I never reached out to him, but he ended up reaching out to me and wanted me to do a feature with him. So I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, sure, no doubt. I was feeling his music. So I did the feature, and then I had that beat, and I was just like, yo, you want to jump on this joint? And he was with it, and it just got done pretty much.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And you get the collab with Bad Seed.
Bad C, yo, shout out to Bad C. We actually did a interview with him
Mhm.
at the show,
Okay.
No Ideas
No,
Original Radio Show
no
with DJ
idea the original,
NUT.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And before he started the interview, he was like, yo, hold up before we go in. Yo, Zagnif, you was nice. Like, da da da. He was giving me mad love. So eventually I just reached out to him. I mean, we showed love back and forth, and eventually I reached out to him and he was with it. And then him and Naps and Drez did the project, and Naps always showed love as well. So I was just like, yo, you want to jump on the track with it since y'all did the project together and he was with it too.
Okay, okay. I was listening to the song that stood out on Sapphires to me a lot. It was Passion Fruit, where
Okay, yeah,
you speak on a relationship that I guess started to fall off a little, and
yeah,
you basically lost the spark, and then you grew because you grew so complacent. That's what you said in the song,
yeah,
and you realize it, and then you come back around to being pretty much with that person as your partner, 15 years strong, 2 kids. That's pretty
yeah,
commendable. That's grown man shit. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. That was direct about my wife.
Yeah, it really stood out to me. I tend to like really pay attention to lyricism and shit like that, and the way you put
Yeah,
that together was real beautiful. You know what I mean? So I'm sure she
respect,
felt.
man.
I'm sure she felt the same way when she heard it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no
And
doubt, man.
I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had done a couple years back. I did a track called "Need My Lady" about my girl and who suffers from lupus and from thyroid
Okay,
disease. So you know what I'm saying? I can understand when you do something that's kind of near and dear to your heart like that. You know what I mean? That's real
yeah,
respectable and commendable. You know what I
indeed,
mean?
man.
For
Respect, I
sure,
appreciate it.
definitely. Next, I'm gonna get into the Bloodstone EP.
Word,
You got features on there too from your team.
yeah,
Noble City, Crucial the Guillotine,
yeah,
Dynamic, Halim, Chaotney. You got a song called Raiders.
yeah.
On Raiders, the lyricism and the flow, the delivery, everything was fucking ridiculous, bananas. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
Def-
Thank you.
on the second verse, I remember you speaking on the COs, fucking with you, and
Yeah,
that's not where you come for pig meat or whatever.
word.
Um,
Yeah,
when being out listening to that and going through everything that we're going through right now at the moment with George Floyd, with the murder of George Floyd, like I don't want to speak too long on it, but I just want to get some quick thoughts on how you feel about the situation right now.
yo, it's crazy, man. It's basically it's been in place for like 500 years now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It just repeats itself over and over and over, and nothing's done about it. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's systematic racism from the top. You know,
Yeah,
and it's like you know what I mean, I was talking to my brother King Arthur last night. Like, yo, I had to have a conversation with my 5-year-old son, like about white and black. Like, my son's mixed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's seeing on TV what's going on, and I literally had to tell him, like, yo, you know what I mean? There's different races. You know what I'm saying? Daddy's white, mommy's black. You're mixed. You're mommy and daddy. You're white and black. But at the end of the day, eventually you're gonna get recognized as a black man. That's how most people gonna see you.
yeah.
And it's like for me to have to explain that to my 5-year-old son, and I'm not even black myself.
Hmm.
That's crazy. It's like things need to change, and they need to change the right way, and not the same thing, not the little 2-week period where we say, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and then things go back to normal.
Yeah. So, what? How do you feel about the outrage in the sense of people looting and stuff like that and destroying property? I mean, I have my own opinion on it. You know what I mean? On Facebook, I'm pretty vocal about a lot of stuff. On Instagram,
Yeah,
I stay pretty quiet on Instagram, but on Facebook, I'm pretty vocal about a lot of stuff, and I got my own opinions about it. They're not usually the most popular, but
yeah.
I I
I
I,
mean,
I agree with me personally. I agree with some of the destruction that's going on, but I don't agree with the small businesses that are being destroyed that are owned by black owners and by our own people that we deal with daily and stuff like that. I think I just feel I feel like some of the buildings that they destroyed yesterday here in Rochester, you know, they have insurances. They'll be up in a few months. They'll be fine. But
yeah.
the life that was taken ain't coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I mean, the way I feel as far as the police building, you know what I mean, the police office, headquarters, the police cars, all that shit can burn to the ground for all I care. Keep it real. But like you
mhm.
said, I mean, as far as, you know, and them big businesses, Target, all that,
Yeah,
you know what I
fuck
mean? Who
yeah,
cares? Fuck them. But like you said, I mean, as far as the local businesses and the black owned businesses, like we gotta take that to the right areas, not you know what I mean, not tear up where, you know what I mean, brothers grew up and brothers is living. Like That's not. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is not even, you know what I'm saying, the black people. A
Hmm.
lot of it is these undercover racists that's coming into the protests and causing havoc.
Yeah, to make the situation look even worse. Yeah.
Exactly. And then on top of that, you know what I mean, you got the police who always come with aggression. They
Mhm.
don't know anything else but aggression.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's emotional times right now. People are feeling a lot of different ways, and everybody's entitled to feel how they want to feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't knock anybody for their perspective on the situation. I just have my own, and I leave it at that. I basically, after seeing everything that happened yesterday with the bill, they broke into Villa, they broke into the
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
that was crazy. Like these are black
Yeah.
owned establishments, so I just felt like they went a little too far and just trying to. It became a I'm gonna get my sneakers and I'm gonna get my clothes instead of there's a
Yeah.
purpose behind everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm a little disgusted in that sense, but it is what it is, and we got to move forward. So we're gonna do just that in this sense. We're gonna go
Right.
into what is it, Alexandrite?
Yeah.
Alexandrite. That EP, it features Tap Out, Barbaric and Alvarez,
Yeah.
the Quarter Inch,
Yeah.
and the
To
Quarter
them.
Kings. How did you get with the Tap Out?
Yo, that's my brother. It's all King Arthur, man. High Speed Network. Shout out to the whole team, man.
Okay,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
So
Tap out, Southside Jonesy.
he's part of King Arthur's crew.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, and
Yeah.
Barbaric and Alvarez, I already know that's family from over here. So
Yeah.
you lived over here. You basically made a connection with them over here.
Yeah, definitely. Barbaric reached out and he was showing mad love, and you know what I mean, we ended up developing that relationship. He's a good dude, and
Yeah,
that's one thing. Like I don't give a fuck how many followers you got. I don't care who's co-signing you. I don't care about none of that. I care about who you are as a man.
no doubt,
So Barbaric's always shown, you know what I mean, he's a real dude, and that's what I respect more than anything.
no doubt, no doubt. And how's your relationship with Alvarez? You know Alvarez for a long time too.
Yeah, yeah. We done a couple tracks together.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
always
I've
always
been fucking with
positive
Alvarez
dude
for
too.
years too. Yeah, I've been fucking with Alvarez for mad years too.
Well, yeah, he's a good dude, man.
That's my nigga here for sure. You know what I'm saying? Also the Quarter Inch. Who are the Quarter Inch Kings?
They two producers from Toronto. They got
Okay,
they got fire, man. They check out their project with Che Uno, Revolution Speed, and they got a couple other joints too. We
okay.
got a project coming too as well, probably next month.
Oh, all right, all right. What is it gonna be like?
Yeah. Shit, I think it's more than an EP. We did so many joints.
Oh shit, no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. You got a song called Inter. I think it's Interfectrix.
In Effectrix, yeah.
Effectrix. All right. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like the basis of the song is pretty much watch out for the setup, right?
It was on some female assassin shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I kind of think
yeah.
that. She was
It's
doing
crazy because
it.
that song, the way it came about was I have this other song. I ain't put it out yet, but there's a bunch of people on it. You know what I mean? Jamel Honesty, Skanks, Older Grade, Juice Mega, P General. You know what I'm saying? And I was researching like assassin groups, trying to think of like a name to name this joint. And I came across, some of the regular ones that, you know what I mean, that I knew of. And, I think King Arthur used one of them already. So I'm like, I can't use that. Um, and a couple of other ones, I was like, nah, I'm not using those. And then I came across one that was like some female assassins in like India. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like what I was reading about it. And then like I just let it go. And then
Yeah,
my homie Conflict, shout out to him, he sent a beat and I was driving listening to the beat and I just kept thinking like female assassin from what I had researched. And I
yeah.
ended up just penning the song on that. And that's how Ineffectuals came about.
No doubt. That was a pretty dope track.
Uh,
The whole project, all 5 joints, I like. I can let them play from beginning to end. But I'm just trying to, I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'm trying to pinpoint the ones that really stood out. You know what I mean, to me. So
Word.
that one right there really stood out to me. I love the concept. I love the
Respect,
creativity.
man.
I love the creativity behind it too. Um, Now
Thank you.
we're gonna move into Obsidian's EP. And before we even move into Obsidians, is there a reason that you chose the particular gems that you chose?
Yeah. Rubies is my daughter's birthstone.
Okay,
Alexandrites is mine.
okay,
Um, Bloodstones is my wife. Also, I think she has like three, but I chose to use Bloodstones because I was thinking family blood,
okay.
and that one featured all Noble City, so it was like family, like the bloodline.
Mhm.
And then the one I got coming up, it probably will release at the end of the summer. Garnets, that's my son's birthstone.
Okay.
Um, Obsidians, Halim actually named that one because I was like, yo, I need like a stone that's like dark, and you know what I mean? Because a lot of the joints was dark, grimy joints, and he
Yeah,
came up, he named it. He was like, yo, Obsidians. I was like, all right, word, I'm running with it. And then
yeah.
Sapphires was actually the last one because I had got a couple new tracks, and
Mm,
the main title track, when I wrote it, I had wrote the power defense system holding a sapphire, and
yeah,
I was like, all right, that's the gemstone for that one.
yeah. That's the first track on the album, right?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, that shit was dope. The beat was really hot too. I like that
yeah,
shit a
thank
lot.
you.
Definitely. On Obsidians, you have featured King Arthur, Dark
Hmm.
Star,
Yep,
Magno Garcia, Bugsy the
yeah,
God, Hooks Arthur, and Snotty.
yep,
Um, all those I know King Arthur's family, yours peoples or whatever. Is
yeah.
Dark Star's part of his crew or your crew? Who's that?
Um, he's not a part of the crew, but he's like extended fam. Like I
Okay,
met him through King Arthur.
okay, okay.
Yeah, he's
And
from
Mag-
Schenectady.
and Magno Garcia.
Yeah, yeah, same thing. Met him through King Arthur. But he's always been a good dude.
So
Stand up dude.
everybody that's featured on this project is pretty much extended family or family, right?
Yeah, Snotty reached out showing love, and we, you know what I mean, we built a relationship. Shout out to Snotty. Bugsy the God, he's part of Team Napalm with PR Terrorists from Killer Army.
Killer Army,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, we did a joint, damn, I want to say probably 2012 on Kevlar 7, rest in peace, my brother.
Hmm.
On his album, Die Ageless. And after all these years, he reached out to me. He was like, yo, I always wanted to do a joint with you way back from when we did that joint because you killed it. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And so I did a joint for him. And then when that song came about, I was like, yo, you want to jump on this joint? He was like, yo, I got you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
That song that you got on that joint, importance is
yeah,
importance in the Carters. That shit was hard. That
yeah.
shit was
Thank
real
you, man.
hard. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
that shit, and technological advancement.
yeah,
That shit's supreme lyricism on that motherfucker. B for real,
yeah. Thank you, man.
for real.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite verses on there.
No doubt. Like I noticed a lot on pretty much that whole project. You was just showing your ass out on like basically barring everybody the fuck out, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. That's the type of shit I listen to. You know,
Yeah,
when you got kids and you got the wifey who constantly listening to reggaeton, and you got the kids listening to trap all day. When you listen to the type of shit that we like and the type of shit you do and we
yeah,
do, it's like they that's like another fucking planet for them. So I gotta get in my own zone. You know what I'm saying? And rock
Word.
out. Like listening to your shit, I basically had to throw my headphones in my ear and get the fuck out to the backyard and just chill the fuck out for real. Because it's something that I need to really focus on. Because you don't say shit that just like. I mean, you can simplify things a little bit if you want to, but
Yeah,
you're a very complex lyricist, and I respect that shit about you a lot.
yeah. I
Um,
appreciate it, man. I try.
Definitely. On the Ruby EP, you got Oak, Lone Tree, and
Oak Lone Tree. Yeah,
you got your man DJ NUT,
yeah. Of course.
and you got another rapper who really stood out to me on the project, P Gens.
Yeah, yeah. Salute
Hey,
Jens, man.
fucking guy is fire, B.
Yeah, that's bro, man. That's actually Halim younger brother.
Oh man, yeah, he's
Yeah,
bananas, man. He's really
yeah,
dope. Like he really stood out on the project. Every time that he came on, he really made a statement. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely, man.
You say in rain. What it said? Rain pours through the window. Rain pours through the windows, through the soul of a mother's realness.
Yeah,
Your story is not relatable without the struggle feeling.
yeah,
Why do you feel that's important? Because I've had this conversation before with somebody else who I basically asked them the question, what's your story, bro? Like, what do you have to talk about? Like, what did you go through? What do you have something to speak about? Because in like, just like you said in that verse, people only relate to struggle,
right.
to the struggle feeling,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that struggle may be. So when I had that conversation with that person, I just wanted to see what his answer would be, and he didn't give me the answer that I thought that I wanted to hear. But I just want to know,
Yeah,
from your perspective, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel it's
yeah,
important to have a struggle feeling?
because it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is hip hop, you know what I'm saying? You don't know who's going through the same thing you were going through. So you could be that voice for that person. But even on top of that, it's like you hear a lot of artists and they talk about, you know what I'm saying, the drugs, and they always talk about living good. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you mean to tell me you sold all these packs, been involved in all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you never taken a loss?
Yeah.
Like, we all take a loss. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you got your ass whooped one time, whether you fucked up on a pack,
You got
whatever
whatever.
the
You
fuck you
got
did,
robbed. You whatever. Yeah.
right? Something, you took a loss somewhere. It's like, yo, just like, I can't relate to you if you're telling me you're living this good and you never took a loss on anything.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
No doubt, no doubt. That's perfect. That's exactly the same way I feel. That's why I wanted to know your perspective. That's why when I heard the line, it stood out to me, like because I've had that
Word.
conversation. I've had that conversation, so it's important to for people to understand when doing hip hop music, at least music that's going to touch your soul, is going to make
Yeah,
somebody feel something. You got to have
exactly.
gone through something or have a story to tell. You know what I mean?
Right,
Even if you're going to do it in small portions, you got to have some kind of story to tell. You know what I mean?
right. Definitely.
Also on that particular track, you speak on the struggle you go through watching your daughter in pain from dealing with a particular skin disorder. Um,
Yeah.
can you touch on that if you don't mind?
Yeah, my daughter, she was basically suffering from atopic dermatitis, which, break it down in simple terms, is eczema. But her eczema was like full blown, like
Mm,
to the point she had it all over her body. It wasn't just like a piece of her arm. It was literally her whole arm, whole leg, feet, hands, face, head, everywhere. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? And she always just scratching everywhere, just scratching her skin up. And it's like, it's hard as a father to deal with that when, she's 4, 5, 6 months, 7 months, 9, 10 months, and she can't really tell you. All she knows is this, and, I'm scratching,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and, what I mean, we went through everything, you know what I'm saying? We had steroid creams, we had oral medications, all this stuff to try to get her. I mean, now she's about to be 2 in July. She's doing a lot better. She
yeah,
has little breakouts here and there, but in like the first year and a half of her life, it was the worst, because it's like she'd wake up in the middle of the night screaming, hardly could sleep, you know what I mean? Because she's itchy, and it's just like, damn, like, I can't do anything for her other than hold her, and you know what I mean. But it's something, like you said, it's a struggle that you go through. It's a different kind of struggle, but
yeah,
it's something that it hurts you as a father, because you don't know what to do. You're
yeah.
trying everything to help her.
Yeah, I could just imagine, brother, man. Like I don't have my daughter. Thank God, she's not dealing with anything like that. You know what I mean? But my
Yeah.
like I said, my wife, she deals with lupus, and we deal with a
Mm-hmm.
lot. We deal with a lot. So that's
Word.
like a lot of people don't know. Like we be online, we promoting music,
Mm-hmm.
we may be part time comedians online doing whatever the hell we doing, but
Yeah.
we go through real shit, and a lot of people don't really
Absolutely.
realize what we go through because we mask it. You know what I'm saying? We mask it so well because it's
For
basically just
sure.
It's basically promote, 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 promote. That's the life that we live, trying to get to the position that we want to be at, where we can actually make a living off of this, even if it is on an underground level, but on an underground level where
Right.
you can actually make money from doing shows and stuff like that. It takes a lot.
Right.
People don't
Yeah.
realize what you got to go through, not only in the grind itself, but with your family alone. Like, there's been times where I'm like, yeah, I'm recording this album next month, and then all of a sudden it's like the next month comes, and no, my girl Jackie becomes the priority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so it's a
Yeah.
lot. And then I not only I deal with that, but I'm also a stepfather 3 plus I got custody of my daughter here from New York City. So she lives with us. She's been
Okay.
living with us for 2 years now. So you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot to deal with that. Plus when she gets her flare ups and stuff like that. So I know I can just imagine as a father what you're dealing with, being that that's you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made that. So it's just seeing that particular being in pain and not being able to express it or deal with it, or you be able to calm it in any kind of way. I mean, have you been able to find like topical solutions or anything that's helping her better now than what she was?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, she's doing a lot better now. But she has little flare-ups. Sometimes she'll be, itching her hand, or, maybe her foot or her knees. But for the most part, it's been fairly under control.
Mm.
Other than like
Thank God for that. Thank God
little
for that.
pieces
God bless
there.
her, man, for real.
Yeah, man. There was times like my wife, she would be hitting me. I'd be at the radio show,
Yeah.
middle of the night, and she'd be hitting me like, "Yo, you need to come home because I can't deal with this anymore." Like, I literally had to take time off from doing the show in UT because it was just so stressful.
Yeah. No, I understand that, man, but you did the right thing as a father and as a husband, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Word.
For sure. So salute to you for that. And salute to you for
Thank
being
you, bro.
a lot of dudes don't get enough credit for being good fathers, and you should, give you your roses now
Yeah.
for just being there and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Not something that we should be credited for, but we,
Right.
as men, we should acknowledge each other for doing the right thing as fathers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um,
Definitely.
I was checking out your discography, and it says you got the Meridian Gem, which I heard, which it sounded like you were a little bit younger though. Sounded like you
Yeah.
were younger, and
Yeah.
and then after that I heard the Ferrum EP. Am I saying
Yeah.
that correctly?
Yeah. Fathom. Yeah.
EP,
That's
and then,
probably that EP is probably when I really hit my stride and have confidence in myself.
yeah, it sounded like you was on point with that shit. That shit sounded great
Yeah.
from beginning to end. The God Brother Blessing EP, is that the God Brother Blessing? Is that a producer?
Yeah, that's actually Halim.
Oh,
Halim,
okay.
yo, he used to go by Illy Vaz back in the day. So anybody that's been following Noble City
Okay,
since the
I
beginning,
saw his name too, Illy Vaz. So
yeah,
I didn't know. I thought
that's
that was
Illy
somebody else.
Vaz. And
Okay.
then he went to the God Brother, and then he went to Halim the God Brother because Halim is his government.
Okay.
And then eventually he just like, nah, I'm just straight Halim. So when we did it, he was going by the God Brother. So I just called it the God Brother Blessings because he did all the beats.
Okay, he produced the whole project. That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you next. All right, no
yeah,
doubt. I also see that he was featured on it too. He did a verse on it too, right?
yeah, yep,
That was dope. Then I heard Super Zag.
yeah.
All right, why'd you name it Super Zag, if you don't mind me asking?
It's something I always wanted to do because I'm from Utica, New York, and that's where Ron O'Neal is from
Okay,
originally. He was
okay,
born in Utica,
okay,
so I always wanted to take the Superfly and just flip it somehow. And then I just chose to do Super Zag and then take the cover of Superfly and kind of put me on the front.
no doubt. That makes it even doper. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about the whole
Yeah,
history, so that makes it even flyer. No doubt.
yeah,
All right, all right. Also, you got like I said, the Gemstone series. You got
yeah.
Sapphire, Bloodstones, Alexandrites, Obsidians, and Rubies. I heard all the projects. I listened
Mm,
to everything that was on Spotify. I listened to from beginning to end. You know what I mean?
dope, man. I
I took my
appreciate it.
time for sure, and this is one of the main reasons why I'm doing these interviews, because it allows me to not only get in tune with other artists that's doing the same thing that I'm doing music, but also to make connections and real relationships with people that
Word,
actually where we can help each other out. You know what I'm saying? If we need to. So that's
absolutely.
like in the 48 Laws of Power when it speaks about the perfect courtier. Well, this is the imperfect courtier, because although I can make a lot of relationships throughout my lifetime, it's been hard for me to sustain them for a long period of time. So I've been this is a way of me not only making those relationships and keeping them and trying to keep them, but also a way to work myself into my next project, which will also be called the Imperfect Courtier, and it'll be feature heavy. So I'll definitely be I'll be reaching out to you too. You know, we got to do business.
I got you, man.
No doubt. But I appreciate you, you know, coming on here and speaking about not only your music, but also about your history and about your life as a father and as a husband. You know, I know, and also shouts to your little man. I know you be putting your little man in the videos a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But shouts to him.
He probably would have been on here, but he fell asleep.
No doubt, man. That's what's up, man. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you not only as a person, but also as an MC. And I'm looking forward to hearing more music from you. And hopefully soon they'll hear the joint that we got in the store for them in the cut. Also,
hopefully August.
All right,
because that's gonna be on the Garnett's one, the sixth and final one.
No doubt. So be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be featured on one of Zag's, you know, classic gems. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt, brother. But I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go. And like I told you before, make sure you share this to your IGTV. So like that you can save it on there, and I'm gonna make sure my peoples get on there, snatch it off there, and put it on YouTube. And I'll shoot you the link as soon as it's up on YouTube.
All right, no doubt, man.
Salute to everybody that joined the live today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, and definitely, man, be on the lookout for more interviews from Crotona P Presents the Imperfect Courtier. Salute to Zagnif Nori, and salute to every hip hop band that came on the show and has been supporting the movement. Appreciate y'all.
Salute to you, man. Thank you again.
No doubt. Just hit the end button when you're ready, brother.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace.